Hello and welcome, everybody. My name is Justin Triplett, the Client Success Manager here, and I'm also joined by Aaron Koller. Hey, Aaron, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Awesome. Well, I'm so excited to kind of jump right into your success story with your first BRRR'd deal and some of your other deals that you might be working on. First, I just kind of wanted to ask you, I know you're kind of newer to the inner circle. How did you hear about us? What kind of drew you into the inner circle?
I have been searching for some time to find a group here in the Seattle area because I know that real estate is primarily a people business. So I wanted to find a group that I could get connected with. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Meet Kevin on YouTube, and he came and did a seminar here in Seattle a couple of years ago. I showed up there and I was asking a lot of questions, and one of the members of the audience said, "Hey, Aaron, you've been asking some great questions. You should come and join our group." And I found exactly what I was looking for through Agents Invest. So I started joining the in-person meetups before COVID struck, and there I was getting a lot of great information. And then when it came to the inner circle, I think I was the first one to sign up because being a newbie, I was looking for all the connection that I could find.
Awesome. So the inner circle allowed you to just create great contacts and find kind of more information to help you on your real estate investing journey.
Yeah, throughout this whole process, I've been able to go to the forums and find out other people's experience with the property management, with the all the when it like the hard money lenders, any lenders. I could look them up there, and then of course we have a small group, and in that small group, I'm able to ask direct questions with other people who've had far more experience than myself.
Well, that's awesome to hear. We love when our investors can connect with each other and as well as use our trusted contacts. So great job. And I kind of just wanted to dive in. You kind of were mentioning before about your first BRRR'd deal, and I was just wondering if you could kind of help everyone understand maybe where you found it and maybe how you found some of your contacts to maybe find some lending or just any other information on your BRRR'd deal.
So bird deals are very hard to come by. The real estate market's just incredibly hot. And, after I talked with agents over in Indianapolis, Columbus, Ohio, um, Minneapolis, just like five or six different markets, I was in contact with realtors all over the place. And when I heard Aubin give their presentation to the inner circle, I realized that my strategy had been wrong. It's easy to get so easy to get hyper focused on the numbers. Does this one give me a 25% compared to a 27% ROI? Honestly, none of that matters if you have the wrong team. If you don't have if you don't have the people that can property manage and get you to where you need to be, your property could be managed into the ground, or you could have a general contract that doesn't show up to the job. And that was always my greatest fear. So after I hear of all these people doing BRRRR deals, it's like, well, I want to do that too. But it was hard to find that personal contact with that agent at Aubin. He came along and said, "Hey, Aaron, I've got a deal for you." And this particular deal, when I had a look at it, I was kind of scared. I almost ran away from it immediately. There was 5 feet of garbage in the back. There was hypodermic needles all over the floor, graffiti in the walls on the walls. And I'm like, are you kidding me? There's way too much risk. There's no way I could do anything like this. And what's it going to cost me anyway? So I did something that Jennifer Beadle suggested that you do. Go and have a look at it on Google Street View. So I did that. And I looked around and saw, wait a sec, these homes look pretty good, except for this home. Okay, maybe this is money that I'm sitting on here.
Yeah.
I got connected with my small group, showed them the deal. They said, "Wow, it looks pretty good, but you want more opinions." So I got in touch with a hard money lender, and they had it looked at. They thought it was a great deal. I got in touch with Caliber. They looked at it. They said this is a good deal. So I'm like, well, maybe I have a good deal. Maybe this is something I could pull the trigger on. And so with all these key people looking at it together with me, I had the confidence that I needed to move forward on it.
Awesome. So it sounds like Jason was your agent and kind of with Aubin and was able to help you kind of find the right property for you. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. I mean, there's a lot of deals coming out of Chattanooga, no doubt about that. But
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
find a good BRRRR deal, that's a
Yeah.
different story. In order for you to get that deal, it's going to require that extra oomph. You're going to need to have contact with that agent in such a way where, hey, when the deal comes up, it's like, oh, let's call Aaron. I think this is what he's looking for. And sure enough, that's what he did.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, yeah. I mean, it's awesome to hear that you were able to use one of our agents in Chattanooga to help you out. And like, how beneficial was his contacts for that general contractor or really any other contacts in the area for you and your success on your first BRRR'd deal?
I have to say that it's easy to lose a lot of sleep over something like this. But with this team, I have lost no sleep. In fact, I actually went to Chattanooga just this last weekend. I had a chance to meet the team in person, and it's easy to get focused on the home. Let's go see the home. Yeah, I saw the home. But that's not the real purpose for my journey. The real purpose was to form relationships with this team that had done such a fantastic job with me. So Jason got me in contact with the general contractor. In fact, I was still waffling on the deal until 3 days later. I get this call. I wasn't expecting it. There was Jason at the property with the general contractor. They had already done a walkthrough. I was initially told the cost of repairs was $25,000. They had great news for me. It was now $50,000. What? That's not the news I was looking for. But what it also meant that with the significant amount of repairs, it meant that if we could pull this off, I'm going to basically get a new home. The only thing we didn't fix was the wood. New roof, new siding, new kitchen appliances, LVP everywhere, new HVAC system. Everything was new. If we can make this deal work, I basically have a new home. And that means cost repairs will be down. So after talking with Curtis, I could see this guy knew what he was talking about. And I know that Jennifer had worked with Curtis. I knew that other members in our group had also worked with Curtis and had a good experience. And so I had the confidence that this guy actually knew what he was talking about. So if he was telling me 50,000, okay, let's talk with certain lending. And we came up with a deal that made it all work. And so I have to say, if you're looking for a BRRRR deal, I can't stress how important that team in Chattanooga is. They can make it happen. And they've got contacts with wholesalers down there. There are deals that come through. They aren't the perfect sweet BRRRR deal everyone's looking for. But if you're willing to leave even 10K into a deal, there are wholesale deals coming through. And this team can take care of those. I don't know about other teams elsewhere. I'm sure there's plenty of teams that can do this. But I can personally vouch they got me through the finish line on this one here.
Wow, that's incredible to hear. And I kind of love how you said how you didn't want to get too drawn up in the deal analysis. We call that like analysis paralysis, where you're just so caught up in trying to analyze everything and you just don't take that kind of first step into taking action and just asking the local property managers. And it just turns out that they had a perfect deal for you. So that's awesome to hear. And since this is kind of like your first investment property and especially BRRRR deal, how did kind of our inner circle members maybe help you on the forums, maybe overcome any challenges that you had?
Well, one of the biggest things is you can passively look. So you can query for any questions you had. I looked up Aubin. Everyone had great things to say. I looked up certain lending. Everyone had great things to say. I already worked with Cody at Caliber, so I had no problem there. And then, going through the forums, it can be a little information overload at the time sometimes, but that's okay. You just kind of go through, learn a few things here and there. That kind of helps you out with the understanding. But then being able to ask people personal questions, well, not personal questions, but direct questions, like me, Lee, from certain lending. I had a misunderstanding as to how their financing options worked out. And I was looking at hard money lenders everywhere else because I thought it couldn't work with them. He very quickly corrected me on that. And now, instead of having one exit strategy, I now had two. At first, I thought I could only flip this. That's the only way I could make it work, because I'd have to leave $25K in the deal to make it work. Certain lending had these financing packages where instead of leaving $25K, I could do it leaving only $15K in there. Oh, wow. Now this is something I can actually, this becomes a buy and hold. So now I have a second strategy, and that's what I really wanted, was the buy and hold. The other critical element was having access to my small group members. We've got 3 other guys in there that I'm in regular contact with, and being able to share with them what I have and getting that feedback, being able to ask those questions anytime I need to, what was critical to my success, because you don't always, it looks, honestly, the house looked like a polished turd is what it looked like. But what I found out is it was actually gold. When you got past all the dirt that was there, you could see this is actually a really good deal to get into.
Awesome. So it kind of sounds like you were taking action, and you're also felt very relieved that other members had worked with me or Cody and some of Jennifer's contacts to kind of really get that confirmation in your mind. Like if other people have done this, I can do it. Is that kind of right?
Yes, but I'm going to take that one step further. When Agents Invest puts preferred lenders up there on their website, they've actually done something very special. What they've done is they've created an accountability feedback loop that you're not going to get anywhere else. In order for these folks to be on there, it means that they are performing, because I was asked many times, well, not many, but multiple times by Dina, how's the team in Chattanooga doing? How's our lenders doing? How's so-and-so doing? Is it all going well for you? That feedback, if that doesn't go well, then they're going to reconsider having those as preferred lenders up there. So oftentimes hard money lenders are incentivized to make it easy to get you into the deal, but might drag their feet when it comes to letting you get out of the deal. And I knew that certain lending wasn't going to do that to me because no one else had ever reported that before. And so having that strong accountability that these folks have, it builds a lot of trust. And it's why I've kind of exclusively limited my interactions with those who are just tied with our group.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, we always try to have the best possible contacts we can for our investors, and we love just following up and making sure everything is to the highest standard. So I'm so glad that you were able to have the same experience. And kind of going with experience, I know you're a new investor, and out of state investing can be really challenging. What kind of advice would you give, or maybe what were some of the struggles you had at first, maybe out of state investing, and then what's some advice you could maybe give to a newer investor like yourself?
First of all, control is an illusion. And if you think having an investment in state is going to give you that control, in some ways, you've now relinquished the control that should be done by the professionals, and you've now taken that upon yourself, which is what you actually don't want to do. I am not the best contractor. I am not the best real estate agent. I'm not the best loan officer. These are things that I don't know. But it is my job to bring all these key players together and make the deal happen. So if I can find these folks, I've done my job. And so having worked with my dad on our own renovation projects, a renovation project is truly never done. There's always something more you can finish. When you are forced to be out of state, all you have are the FaceTime calls and the pictures. And that's all that your tenants have too, or potential buyers. They have the exact same thing. If it looks good in the pictures from what you see, it's going to look good to them. If you can go down there to the property, you start nitpicking, and now you've created more work for yourself. I found that I've had to spend less time because I'm not driving to a property. I think in total I've maybe invested 40 hours into this deal. So, I'm not spending a whole lot of time. And when you're going through the draw process for the hard money lender, you're able to see the house. I can call up the general contractor at any time. He can give me a FaceTime view of what's going on. And honestly, with everything being remote now, I would far prefer to do this out of state. When you have a good team that you can trust, why would you need to show up? And so I'll definitely be doing out of state again for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, we really try to make it as easy as possible because it really helps expand into other markets. And I know you're from Washington, which can be a pretty expensive area to invest in. So the opportunity to invest almost across the entire country in Chattanooga is incredible. And I'm so glad that your first BRRR'd deal went off without a hitch. So like, all of our investors, we love to just ask, what's your why? Why are you investing? Why are you looking for more passive income? And maybe what are some of your long-term goals that you have?
So currently I'm working 10 hours a day, 50 hours a week, and it's because I need capital. So I'm working as much as I can to save up. I've been saving up 3 years for this deal. So for those of you who are hesitant, I understand. I've been saving up for a while to try and make this happen. And so, because I work so much, I don't want to work as much. I've got my wife and 4 kids. I want to be spending time with them. That's my why. I want to find that sort of passive income that enables me to do that. And more importantly, I need strategies that help me get there. You can go out there, put 20% down, maybe a couple thousand, get a home repair, but now you spent 30 or 40,000 on a deal. Does that leave you with enough money for another one? That's why I had to go with the BRRRR strategy. I don't have that much liquidity. The BRRRR strategy lets me use the equity in a home to pay for those things for me. So now for a home that's worth $165,000 in Chattanooga, I've only invested $15,000 to make that happen. That's roughly 9%. That's a pretty good deal in my book.
Yeah, definitely. What are like, when will you feel satisfied? Like, what are some of your long-term goals?
My long-term goal, of course, is to be able to travel with my wife and kids. It's to have a business that I can remotely manage from anywhere in the world. And by doing out of state, I've proven I can do that. If I do it in state, I haven't proven that yet. And when I see people traveling across the world, backpacking, doing all those things, I want to be that person. So every time I hear people bragging about where they're traveling, I'm like, keep bragging away, because that's my encouragement for the same.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of like motivates you just to become really honestly addicted to real estate investing and just the power and the passive income that comes with it. So that's so awesome to hear. And I know that we're going to do some great things together and really just explode your entire portfolio. So I cannot wait to help you out more. And honestly, I think that's all the time we have today, Aaron. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today. Please keep us updated on the forums. I would love to see all the progress that you have. And I hope everyone got to learn more about Aaron's journey and in his BRRRR deals, out-of-state investing, some of the fears and challenges he had. And without further ado, Aaron, you have a wonderful day, all right?
Yeah, thank you, Justin. It was good talking with you.
Awesome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.